Hey, welcome back to Mixtapes and Mopeds with Red Wheels Panda, the fastest growing podcast on the planet.
That's our tagline. We're going to trademark that.
Big shout out to our fans around Georgia, South Carolina, Arizona. Big shout out to the folks in Arizona and Alabama. And of course, we love our fans from Ohio. We see all our fans from Ohio. Please give us those comments. By the way, you got to go check out redwheelspanda.com. We've got a lot of content being posted out there, especially talking about the 80s and talking about albums, videos, and everything else. Go check it out on social media and TikTok. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Hey, first off, apologize to our dedicated listeners. More than more than Jack and Stone. We have a lot now, and we have been a little short on having podcasts. Shame on me. I've been a little traveling around, a little busy, so it is Wheels out here. The Red Wheels has been a little short on being able to show up here, but we will promise we will record more in the future. What say you, Mr. Panda?
Yeah, it's if people don't know you that well, they should know that college football season is a very busy time for the Wheeler household. So,
Let alone a full time job, right?
and then yeah, you got this little company and all
Little
those other
company,
things.
conferences, going around
Yeah.
everywhere,
Yes,
kissing
life.
babies,
Yes,
shaking
just
hands, and
it's all good, man. Yeah, we'll get more of these going here to close out the year strong. But yeah, it's good to see you. It's been a while. And man, we've been here what 3 months now, and I early like last week they were projecting the hurricanes. There's dual hurricanes coming up the East Coast, Umberto and Imelda, and the one projection had it going right over Hilton Head, and I was like, okay, we're headed back to Atlanta, and thank God it just took a direct right turn out into the ocean. So I think the one hurricane kind of sucked the other one out into the Atlantic. So
we've got the young room reserved in the basement if you ever need it. It's got a full kitchen, bathroom, and dinette,
Funny.
workspace. You'd be good to work. So whatever you want, we got the reserved space whenever you need it for pandas.
Well, we'll take you up on that sometime, but apparently not right now. So that's good. In fact, I mean, uh, we went for a walk today, and tomorrow I'm getting a windshield replaced outside. So they're not even expecting rain. So that's how far off the
I
coast.
promise, I was not out there golfing.
Oh my God. Yeah. Can you believe that? So for those of you who don't know, Joe and I were driving in to go to work out at 10 a.m. down the main strip on Hilton Head. We were going right by this plantation, this hole, and boom, got hit by a golf ball. And it was like these five old guys, and they slunk away in shame, didn't even like acknowledge that they smashed my windshield. So yeah, that's getting repaired tomorrow. But I guess
I
that's when
remember
you.
I remember golfing at Chastain Park and slicing a
Oh
ball,
yeah,
and I'm going.
yeah. That's
It hit the
yeah.
hubcap of a
It
car.
was
It didn't hit the windshield. It hit the hubcap, and but I probably was like one of those five old dudes that went. Ah.
yeah. All those holes that go on the perimeter of that park.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah.
are just you're hitting into the neighborhoods when you miss it. Yeah, I've done that myself as well. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's my fun there. And oh, you know what? We're both getting up in age a little bit. So when we got here, we decided we were going to work out. We've been working out every day for the 3 months we've been here, and I don't see end
By the
result.
way, for all of us aged individuals that are, turning up or near 60, this is a great idea. Listen to the panda here. It's a great idea to go do. Go ahead, Mr. Panda.
Yeah, so we just joined Planet Fitness, and they have a deal where you can also get into their black card thing lounge, and so you can do these massages afterward on their machines. They're not personal massages; they have the machines, whatever. And man, I'm addicted. So we go in every other day. We work out, and then the off days we go for an hour walk. And I'm not
Whoa,
really
whoa,
like,
whoa, whoa. Do those machines have a happy ending?
nah, no, at least not the
Okay.
ones. in our facility. There is no happy endings there. Although I still, man, I walk out of there on heaven, my back, because I always have a back issue. So after we work out for an hour and 45 minutes. It's not a short workout. So yeah, I feel like a different person. I was like old and creaky. I'd get up off the couch and be hunched over. I feel like 10 years older than I really am. And now that I've done that, even though I'm not buff or anything, because it's going to take a lot more effort to generate some muscle mass. I just feel amazing. I walk. I don't have the pains in the joints. So just get out there and do whatever you can. And we're just fortunate enough where we have the time we can put in a good workout every other day. So yeah, it's been kind of a game changer to go do that. So yeah, that's what's new in the Panda household
It
last few
only worked for
months.
me if I love getting that workout and if I can get it in. Just traveling, it's so hard
Yeah,
because they're
yeah,
crappy gyms. I got to get the black card membership so I can find a Planet Fitness around too. We just do the
yeah,
local one here.
yeah.
All right, the big rant of the week. The Wheeler rant. We've had a little Wheeler rants and actually got a couple texts on the last Wheeler rant. By the way, thank you. Shout out to my Arizona listener out there who helped me out on my rant about mortgages. My big rant this week was observation that I had as fans. Our fans, what sports teams fans, how fast we turn on our players, on our coaches, on our teams. I looked it up and I was thinking, I'm going, when I was over in Italy in the Colosseums in Rome, and you're wandering around the Colosseums in Rome, and they had the gladiator fights. And the gladiator fights, these are trained gladiators fighting it out to the death. And so there was the emperor would go, is it thumbs up or is it thumbs down? Whether that person, when they lost the fight, if they were going to be dead. Now, these gladiators were paid a lot of money to go fight these fights, believe it or not. Well-paid gladiators in the middle of this whole. So they didn't necessarily want to always kill these guys on that, but if the audience went woo woo woo, kill them off, then the emperor would say, and then off with his head. But now we're in this same scenario. We're seeing our teams and these poor players out there. People are betting. People are just watching an individual player, watching an individual, and everything is about what we're gambling on now. And we seem to have lost a little bit of our loyalty, and we're losing that just how we would watch the game. So now I was in this is the observation. We were in Pennsylvania in a big Penn State bar, and everybody had Penn State. And so I was watching Oregon score in this last weekend, and I'd see 10, 20% of the crowd going, wahoo! And they got Penn State full guard. I'm going, what the heck? I go, everybody's gambling. And then they are screaming at a player not catching the ball, and there's a quarterback not getting the points. They go, oh gosh, we've lost our ability to cheer for a coach, a team, and they're all betting on a particular play or a stat. I'm just thumbs down on all these individual things. Start figuring out how to vote or root for your team and stop being so negative on these, especially in college. They're kids. We can say they get paid. We can get mad at those quarterbacks that are getting $4 million, but they're still kids. They're not adults yet. Give them a break. Give the teams a break. Give the coaches a break. Heck, we've already got 4 coaches fired at Division 1 at this point, and we're probably going to see 2 more fired this weekend. It's gotten a
It's
little,
it's
yeah.
money, man. Money is at all phases. It is obviously the coaches, they've been getting paid for a while. Some players are getting paid under the table for a while, but for the most part, now all college,
Yeah. I mean, you're
they're
right.
all getting paid now through
Yeah.
NIL, and they're getting lots of money, many of them, most of them. And now, yeah, now the fans are getting paid if they have a winning bet, right? So there's just money. And you know what? From an NFL perspective, I can feel it as well because I'm a big fantasy football guy, and I have Steelers on my team, I have Ravens on my team, and I hate those teams. I've always hated them, right? I'm a Bengals fan,
But you're now rooting for them.
but now I'm
It's
rooting
actually
for
kind of
Derrick
cool.
Henry.
Kind of cool
Derrick
because
Henry's got to score. It's like, and it's like, wow, we have totally just distorted like the innocence of sport, and now it is what it is. It's
it's
vastly
not
different than
about the
what it was.
team. It's all about
Mm.
me. And I don't know what we do. It's all about me. And you know what? The fantasy thing. It's not. I'm not against the fantasy thing. I like that. I love that fact. I love the fact you can watch the red zone, watch the best plays, watch your players, and go root for that. I love that fact. That really has brought a lot more people. It's brought a lot of both men and women into the game. I mean, to watch it and love it. But then when we get to the negative side of it, when people go, that bum and that
Yeah.
particular loser, there was an old movie, I don't remember back in the day, I think it was a Bruce Willis, where the running back going down the field with a gun, going, shooting all the defenders in front of him because he had to score a touchdown. It was a movie actually in the 80s. We had to go review that movie.
I've never heard of
You don't remember
that.
that one? Oh,
Nah.
yeah. Bruce
Oh,
Willis was in that movie.
wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll have to look that up.
we gotta go look that movie up. But
Okay.
it was about the early days of gambling on sports and NFL.
Hmm.
All right, that's the rant of the week. Let's
That's a good
go.
one. All right.
Let's go talk about some of the big surprises in college football. Tell us about your big surprises in college football this
Yeah.
year, right now.
Yeah. So I had Clemson as a possible national championship when we did our top 25 a few months back, whatever. I thought they had their defense, their quarterback, their receivers,
Their coach,
their
I thought,
coach. He's
yeah,
won some natties. I mean, everything that was
Tom
lined
Allen's
up.
their defense. No, is Tom Allen there? Defensive coordinator? No, no, yeah,
Yeah, did he
he's
go to
Tom.
Clemson? Yeah, the Indiana guy, the
Yeah,
Indiana
yeah,
coach.
he's
Yeah, he left Penn State to go down there. Anyway, they are a massive disappointment. That quarterback Klubnik was supposed to be like a Heisman guy, and he's still solid, but just I don't know, just the epic collapse by Clemson. So that's the first thing that popped out for me this year. Second one, and it's because I'm an alum, but I still think it's true. At 5-0, Vandy is a big surprise with being very
Bobby.
credible. Yeah, I mean it's the quarterback Diego Pavia, who
Diego Bobia. I
yeah,
love Diego Bobia,
yeah. I mean
especially like his family.
he's a firebrand. He's a
His family shows up to every game.
yeah, they do. Yeah. So this week will tell at Alabama, and Alabama's going to have some payback on their mind. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Bama wins that by a pretty good amount. But just the fact that Vandy's top 16, 5-0, 5 weeks into the season. I mean, my sophomore year there, I think we were 4-0 and we were ranked. And then we went on to lose 5 straight games. I'm like, okay, so that's the Vandy way historically. So let's hope that doesn't happen this year. But I honestly think as long as the quarterback stays healthy, that they're a 7, 8, they're a 9, potentially 9-win team, which is obviously big for Vandy. So that's a big surprise. And then finally for me, Arch Manning is just a disaster and not even top 3 quarterback in his own league, let alone number 1 pick and number 1 Heisman candidate. Just a pretty big disappointment. So those are the 3. I didn't even touch Alabama because I think they've made a resurrection. So um, yeah,
Their quarterback looks
he's
really good. By the
playing
way,
way better, way better.
he
Yeah,
looks really good.
yeah.
And the other interesting one is Georgia, not looking like Georgia.
No, no,
Both sides of the
no,
ball, defense and offense. There's not.
no. They just don't have the playmakers on either side that they are accustomed to having.
Yeah, it might be a little bit of coaching. I'm going to go on my other side because we had the topic here of biggest surprises in college football. So I look back and I made the comparison of the 80s versus what's going on now. And so back in 1985, I said 40 years ago. What was 40 years ago? In the top 10 were Oklahoma, Michigan, Penn State, Tennessee, Florida, Texas A&M, UCLA, Air Force, Miami, and Iowa. and only one of those teams are in the top 10 right now, which is Miami. So it's interesting. Maybe is Penn State? Yeah, Penn State I think has dropped out of the top 10. Are they still in the top 10?
I think they are now.
Okay, maybe
Yeah.
two. Might have known after the loss. They shouldn't have dropped too far because that was a
No, that was
that
a
was a
great game. Amazing game.
darn good football game. But just to me is the big surprises to me this year more than years past is parity. So pre everything NIL, pre everything about the transfer portal, it really feels like we've got a little parity going on now that we can have teams. Vanderbilt actually stepping back saying, hey, we can write some checks for their players.
Mm-hmm.
And other programs, Miami wrote some checks to get, they got their quarterback. So, coming back from being down, way down. So to me now, the big surprises of how much now that we're kind of balancing it out across college. There's no clear leader. Ohio State, we can always say they're always good, but they're not a clear leader. They're not, Miami, not a clear
Miami
leader to
looks
me.
good. Yeah.
They look good, but there's nobody.
Oregon, yeah.
Oregon,
Anybody can
really
win
clear leader, but
yeah.
we
I'm
can
with
go
you.
if you talk right now national championship teams, we could probably name 12 that have a shot of going through it all, including a couple one-loss teams that have a legitimate shot. Where in years past you're going, well, these four teams are probably gonna. These are the four. No, everybody else no chance.
Yeah.
Not a snowball. So it was because their roster was so deep that you'd throw in the next defensive line and stop everything, and just be when those four would meet up.
I follow college recruiting really pretty closely. I have for 20 years, and they add up points depending on where the players are ranked. They're 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, and they add up all the points for these classes. And Alabama and Georgia mostly, they would have these monster classes where they'd have. And I know the points don't matter to you, but the point is they would have like 320 or 310 points when you add it
5
all
and
up,
4-star players.
all these 5 and 4 stars. But now the top classes are having nowhere near those points. They're like 280, 290 points because all of the players are being dispersed due to financial reasons across larger base of teams, which means, to your point, reinforcing what you said, it makes the play on the field a little more even. So you're seeing more teams get in there. Vandy has a shot now, and you see Oregon jump in a little more consistently.
Texas Tech, baby.
Texas Tech is buying. They're buying it, and good for them.
Bought a team.
They bought a team, and it seems to be working for them. So yeah, that is a big change. And the high school recruiting is still important, but it's probably the portal is every year becoming more and more important. The transfer portal. So yeah, it's just.
But then the other cool side of it now is we can see these group of 6 teams that now can go recruit these high school or these 3 and 4-star players that aren't getting starting time somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to Ohio University. They're going to Tulane.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to Memphis. And you're seeing those teams being really good.
Well, even the lower end kind of Power 4, like Indiana, which is the losingest program in the Power 4 history, and they get a transfer quarterback because he wasn't doing happy where he was, and now he's like setting the world on fire. Top 2 Heisman candidate,
top 5 draft choice now.
Yeah, and Indiana. I mean, they suck, but not now. They're really darn good because they went out and were very smart in the portal, got their guys.
Indiana better figure out how they pony up $15 million a year for Signetti.
I know.
How do you keep that guy and not let, because somebody else is going to write a big check to grab that guy.
He is old, so maybe if they, they're going to, no matter what, they're going to have to pony up some dollars to keep that guy.
You can find Signetti offensive. I love him. I just love he's so
cocky that it's almost kind of interesting.
Yes, right. He's so cocky. He's not Dion cocky.
No,
he is so cocky.
He really is. But you're like, okay, yeah. I mean, you're Indiana, dude. I mean, you got to bring the juice. You got to bring the juice there.
So. That's why. If it wasn't for Indiana, I'd go again.
Yeah. Yeah,
Indiana, because
exactly.
like you said, they're the losingest
Yeah.
big Power Four program in
Yeah.
the history of football.
Yes. Yes, they are. So he's got to deliver some on his own. So I give him a pass on all that. I'm with you on that.
All right, we're moving on
All
to
right.
our first segment, and this is a good segment because Panda spent some good time on this, and we have a my daughter has a friend from high school here in North Georgia, Cambridge High School. Big shout out to Carter Kench, who's out there on TikTok. He's went from 200,000 to 400,000 to 1 million to 3 million to 5 million. I think he's up to 8 million viewers on TikTok. And he's made a freaking great living on being a commercial guy on TikTok. Everybody's watching his videos. So tell us a little bit about the TikTok story of Red Wheels Panda
Yeah.
and some of the things that's going on.
Yeah, so obviously we talked about the website, and we've got a full website out there with articles and all the content. And as I started, looking at various social media platforms, I'm on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and Twitter X, and also TikTok, which I've had a TikTok account. I really consume content, but I went ahead and set up accounts across all those platforms, and the only one that's taken off is TikTok. And I wasn't doing anything. This is the last one I actually started working on. And as of August 21st, we had 5 followers of Red Wheels Panda on TikTok. 5. And what, 5 weeks later, as right before this, we were up to 1,508 followers. And just,
Carter Kench, watch out,
yeah,
baby. We're coming
exactly.
after you.
We're rounding error for him, but um,
And next,
it's
the commercial from Mr. Panda is his new hair follicle.
yeah, right.
Oh, wait, hair follicle.
There we go. Yeah. But it's been interesting to learn the game there. There's definite strategy on how you do videos and how you organize them, and so I've just been trying everything just to see what stick. And I've kind of found a niche where we really focus on 80s music content on that channel. So we've had huge success with top 10 albums for Rolling Stones, REM, AC/DC, Ozzy, Beatles, Van Halen. Those are all out there. And my wife had an idea, like she said, you got all these albums. Why don't you just film playing an album every day? And I do that, and I get massive like views and likes and comments on just pulling out an album out of my cabinet and playing it and
You do
talking
a little
about it.
dance ahead of time. Go.
No dancing. There's no panda dancing on these.
You eat some bamboo before.
I've also, so now as you say that, it's funny because I just did a video today, and one of the things was talking about pandas eating bamboo. So I've been really getting into the AI video creation. So I'm testing out the AI videos and just
I
to get.
I think
Go
we need
ahead.
to get a Lee Corso helmet for you with a big panda helmet and get a little bamboo as you're walking out with the album too.
So one of the videos that I posted out there on the stories is AI generated. It's a picture of me, and this big panda comes and just grabs me and gives me a big old bear hug, and I'm smiling. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. The tools we have at our
That's
disposal
what
now.
his friends do with them too, but I'm the baby panda going.
Yeah. Steve, what is your head doing down on my crotch?
It smells
Oh man, you slay me. But anyway, so I think the point of all this is there's a lot. I post 2 or 3 videos a day, and it's all in fun, 80s related. We even do name this 80s movie, which is AKA a Stump Wheels that we do on the podcast. But I do it, give hints, and then provide the answer. So there's a lot of 80s related content. It's cool. If you have a TikTok account, please go to Red Wheels Panda, follow that account. Certainly no harm in doing it, but there's a lot of cool content that we're doing every day. And we just grew 100 followers just in the last 24 hours. So it's kind of ramping up, and you get to 2,000, and then you get to 5,000, then you get to 10,000. Once you get to 10,000, then we can actually start doing some really cool stuff. But 8 million seems like a whole lifetime away for us. But we'll start slow and try to see if we can get to that big 10,000 number. But yeah, we're definitely on our way. It's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it in my spare time doing it. So
That's a
yes.
very cool story. You know, where would you get that from Lancaster, Ohio in 1985? You know, standing on the corner with a sign and spinning the sign. Go here.
Right. Man, I tell you, there's a lot of people actually doing stuff like that and posting it on TikTok. It's crazy what people will put out there and just to generate, views and likes and whatever. And I've decided I'm not going to be that person. I'm just going to put content out there that's related to the things that we are interested in, that are related to the 80s. And people either like it or they won't like it. And so we try to not do the crazy zany stuff, but there is a bunch of crazy stuff out there if you really look for it.
Lord knows it found me the last time I was in TikTok. Segment, hey, next segment, segment two, is the big review. And it's the movie Big with Tom Hanks. By the way, anybody listen to this podcast, you want to watch one of the best movies of all time, 1988, with director Penny Marshall from, what were they on? What was the Happy Days rollover?
Laverne and Shirley.
Laverne and
Yeah.
Shirley. Laverne and Shirley. Penny Marshall. Thank you.
Yeah.
Laverne and Shirley. So in this movie is one of Tom Hanks, not his first, but certainly one of the early first ones. Robert Loggia. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
98% Rotten Tomatoes. My goodness. Uh, Certainly it had a lot of Academy nominations with Tom Hanks and the movie overall. But Panda, give us your review of Big. And
Yeah.
anybody has not seen Big, go fire it up in streaming media.
Yeah. I think you're probably going to talk about how this movie would do in today's age, so I'll leave that to you. But just I guess some general observations. First off, I didn't realize until after I watched the movie again that Tom Hanks was actually nominated for Best Actor for a comedy, which is pretty crazy. And I think it's because he did a remarkable job of, as a 30-year-old man or however old he was, mimicking the actions of a 13-year-old boy, which is what he was playing, just in a grown up body. And he had all the mannerisms down. And you'd think that would be easy, but it isn't. And he makes it
Until
just
you
seem
meet
so.
me and Tyler.
Well, but that's how you are today. Tom isn't that way today, so he had to actually act a little bit. Yeah, no, but just amazing performance, which I think springboarded him on to the great movies that he ended up doing in the '90s with Philadelphia and Forrest Gump and all of that. But this movie was just a phenomenal joy to go back. I had seen it several times over the years, but probably not for 20 years because you never see it on TV or anything. And so
Never. I
had
don't know why.
never had to go find it and pay. I actually paid $4 to watch it again, and yeah, just a wonderful, great, fun, enjoyable movie. There's so many scenes that I want to talk about, and one of the first ones, I don't know if you really picked up on it, but he becomes the old guy, and so it's Tom Hanks playing the character, and they go to Times Square, and if you remember in Times Square they have all the lights and all the billboards and all the advertising. Did you notice like all the advertiser? I wrote it down. It was Maxell, that made the tapes, and JVC and Minolta and
No, I
Toshiba,
did not notice who was
all these
advertising.
brands that are like
No, gone.
nothing. Today it would be Apple and blah blah Google and blah blah blah. But just the brands that were on in '88, it's in Times Square. That was funny. Um, but just some of the lines that I love. He was getting Tom Hanks has to get a job. He goes to New York. He's interviewing with this HR person, and the HR person is like, "Hey," looking at his resume that he's somehow thrown together. And he goes, "Where did you go to school?" And Tom Hanks, 13-year-old kid, but in an older man's body, he goes, "It was called George Washington," which I think was the high school's name. And the guy goes, "Oh, GW, did you pledge?" And he goes, every morning. And then you realize he's talking about Pledge of Allegiance in high school or in grade school, and the guy's talking about fraternity. Just there's all kinds of little lines like that are
Well
just
written, right?
hysterical.
You know, just on
Very
how you
well
set
written.
that up, right? It's
Very
not
well written.
just well written.
Yeah. And then there's the scene where they're having a big party, like a Christmas party or some holiday party, and Tom Hanks comes in a tuxedo like that the you would see in Dumb and Dumber when they wore those tuxedos at the end of the movie. Tom Hanks has a white and all the fluffy stuff on it, and he goes down to the spread and he sees those little mini corns, and he takes it and he's eating eating it like a corn on the cob and turning it and trying to eat it. Oh, just the little stuff like that. And then probably one of the great lines that I loved is when he's starting, and you probably want to talk about this. He's starting to have a female coworker, older lady, is really hitting on him, and she wants to come over to his place. And he goes, "Oh, do you mean a sleepover? Okay, but I get to be on top." And of course, he means to be on the top bunk of his bunk bed in his crib. And of course, she takes it the other way, and just little double entendre lines that they were able to kind of weave into it. So,
That's
just
an
a
awesome line too. Yes, I love that. I'll be
funny
on top.
movie. Yeah. So what's your take on it?
So the first thing was to me the game machine, Zoltar. So
Oh
you
yeah,
know it's
yeah,
Zoltar. You walk up to Zoltar, and that's such an '80s thing. You know, you
yeah.
go.
It is.
Those were in every little
Yeah,
festival out there. What
yeah,
does
yeah.
Zoltar? I don't remember it printing anything. I don't remember making a wish or anything, but it was like the magic 8 ball. It was
Yeah.
Zoltar, and Zoltar would
Right,
say something. But
right.
just that concept of the Zoltar walking up the machine. And then my other thing was, you know, we can't let it down. And it's my one of my favorite scenes of all time in any movie was the piano scene with him dancing in that and that and just
Chopsticks on the piano. Yeah,
just I mean just the doom, and he only knew the one piano song, and
yeah.
the CEO of the company who had
Right. With
promoted him in there,
emotion.
and they're both,
Yeah.
yeah, it was just it's the happiest scene of everybody watching around. And
Very
that
sweet.
if
Yeah.
you can't smile at that and laugh at that, that just it's such the warm, just loving of everything about that, and that's the kid. And then certainly when he walks in and there he's asked to rate the toys, and he's playing with them, he's like, "Who the hell? This is a horrible toy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play with this. Find something." You know, the guys,
Yeah.
the one guy with his girlfriend, they're promoting this horrible toy. He goes, "I don't get it. I just don't. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's not gonna." And
He keeps
so,
raising his hand in the meeting.
you know, I gotta fess up. I might have taken it from that movie, but I did that in corporate world a few times, being in some big board meeting or something. And you know, when you get into meetings with so many people that love to talk and they have so many conversations, you're going blah 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 blah. I have to admit, I used that raise the hand technique several times in order to stop all the blah 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 blah, because then everybody's going, "Why is that asshole in the area?" You're going,
Yeah.
at least I'm going to get noticed
Yeah.
to ask a question of why is that? And then one of the things too, you kind of go, it's kind of cute that he's got the girlfriend, but kind of I don't want to say creepy part, but it's the 30-some-year-old with the 13-year-old and
Yeah.
falling in love with the 13 year
Yeah.
old. But
Yeah.
it's not creepy. She didn't know.
It's she didn't know,
She
so
didn't
yeah.
know.
No.
But it
It's a
was,
little creepy, but yeah.
but it was still Tom Hanks, so it was, it wasn't
Right.
creepy. And
Right.
and then just becoming an adult, a kid becoming an adult. And I think the cool part about it too is he got to experience, whenever we were 13 years old, we always wanted to be the adult. We didn't want to be 13. We wanted to be 18. When I was 13, I liked the 16-year-old.
Mm.
When I was 13, I liked the 18-year-old. You always wanted to be the older person. Then you get to experience it. And then he got to go back. And now that we're 60, wouldn't we like to go back and try to be
Oh,
13 again?
yes.
I mean, wouldn't you just like to go, Zoltar, I wish to be back, and I don't want to be somebody else. I want to be me at 13, not somebody else at 13. Anyway, fantastic movie, high accolades. Anybody would, it's just, you'd find this movie interesting no matter what.
I think that one of the themes I pulled from it is, as and you kind of highlighted, but when we get older, we kind of lose that innocent of youth, um, and we become these adults, and we become hardened, and we do whatever we have to do in the corporate world. Where there was this guy, he looked like he was in the body of a 30-year-old, but he was really a 13-year-old, and he just brought that innocence, and he had success and enjoyment. He was actually really enjoying what he was doing as this 13-year-old in this older body. And there's kind of a lesson there to kind of, let's
I have to say, I've hired most recently three 20 somethings, and I have to say, it's kind of awesome listening to them with their ideas. I'm enjoying it. I've got some 20-year-olds that are just brilliant, and it's so cool because I get to sit back and listen to them with ideas and bouncing around
mm-hmm,
and try not to be a discurager, try to figure out,
mm-hmm.
okay, that one's good. We can't do a Taylor Swift commuter program.
Come on, boss. Where's
That's
the
probably not
marketing
going to work.
budget?
Swifties, I love you. I love you, but we can't promote.
That's funny.
Probably not going to work.
That's funny.
All right. Next segment. We love this segment, and it's about what do we miss from the 80s? Coming in now, what do we miss? What are the things, we did back in the 80s that, things that were going along? Panda, I'll let you start that off. What are some of those things that you kind of miss from the 80s?
As we were kind of thinking about this topic, some couple things hit me, you know, and it's really hit me hard recently. There's a lot of decent movies that have been coming out, and they sit in the theater for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then they go straight to the streaming platform. And in the '80s, certainly into the '90s, and even beyond that, I enjoyed the process of going to the movie for a big, movie theater for a big movie, the popcorn, the whole thing, paying crazy money, all that. But it was the experience. And now, unless you like race out there opening weekend or you miss most of these movies. So I do enjoy the practicality and the ease of having movies on the streaming services, and I've pretty much got them all. But I do feel like we're missing out on some of that experience. I do miss that. So that was the first thing
So
that
I'm
hit
gonna
me.
go. I'm gonna go. What that goes along with that for me? It goes something back to the '80s. I can't say that I'm married now. I'm married for 24 years. Um, but I think that goes along with that is the movies were a great date place, right? You go and that was an occasion to go. Hey, would you like to go out to see a
Mm-hmm.
movie? And so I think I can only look through our kids. What do they do from a dating perspective? And that's lost. How many times? I mean, I can't think of one time my kids go, "Hey, Jess, the
Yeah.
dating there is no. I mean,
No.
at best, it's food, maybe going to
Right.
eat at best. But the movies was a place that was like cherished to go
Yeah.
on a date,
It was.
whether it was a
Yeah.
drive-in movie or it was going
Mm-hmm.
to a theater and going to I mean, I had well, I love you, sweetie. Well, a ton of dates you go to movies, right?
Yeah.
Um,
My very first date ever was going to a drive-in movie. Yeah.
Going to a drive-in movie. I mean, that was
Yeah.
a part of that.
Yeah.
Um, so what are the other things you
Oh
miss?
yeah. So I also really enjoy the streaming music services. I have Spotify, but there's Apple and others out there, and it's very convenient, access to everything. You don't have to own everything, but I miss the physical connection to an album. So when we were driving down the road in the '80s, we had 8-track players or we had cassette players, and you got it out of its case, and there was artwork and there was lyrics and the songs, and you put it in the machine and you played it and you pulled it out and you put the next one in. You had a connection to the artist, to the art, And you lose that when you just pop on your Spotify playlist, which is what I do all the time. And I don't even have a CD player in my car. I can't even physically do that anymore. So I feel like I've just lost connection to the artists with the way the music industry is set up these
Loyalty. It's
days.
coming
Yeah,
back to
yeah,
loyalty. You just go. I mean, I was on a boat, and I had my playlist on a boat, and then I compiled a playlist for the cool old tunes, and for a boating trip, and it was like 6 hours of tunes, and every one of them are just great tunes everybody
hmm
loves,
hmm
but it's not popping in that cassette tape that
yeah,
you physically owned and you
yeah,
had
yeah,
loyalty of listening to Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Billy
uh,
Squier. You pop that in, you're listening to one side of the cassette, something, or one side of a
yeah,
CD, or you listen to it and you had ownership. You're going, man, I love
yeah.
this one. And so now you're just like, man, next, 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 next. Oh, I don't like this one. Fast forward.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. You had to. We only had so much money, right? So when you wanted, what's the next album? I had $8 or $9. I'm going to go buy that Billy Squier tape. That was a big purchase, and I had the loyalty and ownership of that, and everybody knew, okay, this guy likes Billy Squier. He actually went out and bought the cassette. Now you pay your monthly fee to Spotify, and you have loyalty to nobody other than the universe of music that's available to you. So
And
it's
which
just
is
different.
great.
It is. There's
We
huge
listened to a lot of
benefits,
good things.
but yeah, you just lose that connectivity. So,
I mean,
well,
your album collection, listening to an album and listening to the click,
mm-hmm,
just the click of that. It's
mm-hmm.
the listening to the pureness of an album is
Oh,
so different than any
yeah,
other. Putting
it
on the
is.
Beatles, the White Album,
Mm,
might be one of the purest albums you ever listen to of just sound quality of how clean and clear it is. Just
yeah, yeah. And then next on my list is I miss the 80s where I could sit down and watch music videos on MTV. That doesn't exist anymore. Again, we're back to this whole you're only getting it on your streaming platform. But I mean, I like to just veg on the couch for a few hours and get my music on and watch the videos. I loved that. I was addicted to that in the early 80s when it came out, and over time I guess they moved away from that. But yeah, again, that was another connection to the art because you're consuming the actual video in addition to the music. And so I just feel, again, somewhat related to the last point, but I missed the days of MTV being actually MTV. So that was that was
Mine
fun.
was mine, I was drawn into that, but I gotta say sitcoms for me was give me the
Mm.
30-minute sitcom, and I think we've got a small comeback of some of the sitcoms, but
Yeah, not too
you
much
could
though. Yeah.
just going through the list of sitcoms, if you're sitting at 30 minutes and dedicated, and I love them, going from Cheers to, I mean, MASH, Cheers, Seinfeld, and Friends, everything. We loved anything going through any of those. I mean, that controlled Cosby. Cosby was awesome.
Bosom Buddies. Yeah, there were a million comedies back then, and yeah, they're very hard to find now.
All right, we're gonna roll into life's simple pleasures. Um, so, Mr. Panda, what's your life's simple pleasure?
This came up recently because, as I mentioned earlier, we've been working out about every other day, and we go at 10, we get off around noon, and we go grab a bite when it's a nice day. And it's been 70s and sunny here, just beautiful. It's just when you have that beautiful kind of weather to go have lunch outside in the sun and just enjoy a sandwich or whatever for 30 minutes. That is a simple pleasure. And, in the heat of the summer, you don't get to do it. So you really got to do it in the fall and the spring. And so, yeah, we take every opportunity when we can go grab a bite somewhere, we'll do it at a place that has seating outside. And so that is my life's simple pleasure for this
That's a good
week.
one. That's a really good one. That can't be said more, especially in the weather we're having now. It's just perfect. I think it's almost nationwide. Unless you're somewhere near some little bit of that rain, but nationwide. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say celebrating my 24th anniversary this year. And this might be a repeat. Happy anniversary, sweetie. Love you. But the life simple pleasure for us on our fifth anniversary, fourth anniversary, we went to Penn State, Ohio State at Penn State to see a football game, home game. I'm decked out in my Ohio State. She's in her Penn State, and I'm the LA. Very few Penn State fans, and the Penn State fans weren't giving me very much grief. They're cheering it on. We having to go. We're tailgating, having a blast. We go see the game. Unfortunately, that year was a year that Penn State beat us, which is very few times. Thank you, James Franklin. Um, but so we came out of there, and my wife goes, "Hey, instead of buying each other something for our anniversary every year, Panda knows this story. How about we go see a football game?" I go, "Really? We don't have to buy each other anything? We just go see a football game somewhere? Yeah, yeah, okay. Somewhere near our anniversary? Yeah. Somewhere in the country doesn't have to be our teams? Sure, yes." So we have seen, this is our 20th, I think, football game this year, and we've gone all over. So the life simple pleasure here is creating a moment. How do you create moments? Whether it's just a simple day of having lunch outdoors. Ours is on our anniversary. We just find another city, another campus. It has to be a campus to go see a college football game, to see some other city, to see something new, to like breathe in the young people that are around the campus. This year we happen to be Villanova versus William and Mary. By the way, if anybody knows Doug Boone and William and Mary, please have Doug Boone call Steve Wheeler. Said Steve, I haven't seen you for years, man. Um, but it was just 7,000 students at Villanova. It was a large high school football game, but those fans were so into their football team, and we had a blast. It was such a cool campus, beautiful in Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania, where one of the U.S. Opens takes place. It's just gorgeous up there. Perfect weather, but it's a great life's simple pleasure.
It's the greatest tradition ever, at least that I've ever heard. So I love that you guys do that. It's amazing. 20 years of doing that. That's just wickedly cool.
All right, to everybody's favorite segment, Stump Wheels.
Stump wheels.
I'm a dummy. I will never get him. I've only had one of like 10, and he had to really coach me along to get the one of 10. But this year, this one he promises that I'm going to get because we've talked about it, but I beg to differ. So let's see
Okay.
what Stump Wheels.
Well, if you've seen the movie, you'll get it. If you haven't, then then you won't get it. But I tried to go easy this time, but we'll see. All right, here's the quote. Take this quarter, go downtown, and have a rat gnaw that thing off your face. Does it even ring a bell for you?
Yeah. It sounds like a Seinfeld episode when George has the toupee on his head, and Elaine is saying, "Get rid of the toupee on your head."
That's a very Seinfeld kind of quote, but I assure you it's an 80s movie that we have talked about several times
It sounds
on the
like
show.
a Michael Keaton quote, but it's not.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What's the next hint?
This movie was on our top 10 John Hughes segment that we
So
did.
it's got to be not Chris Farley, but the other guy, not Dan Aykroyd.
No.
Okay, go. All right, give it up. Tell it is. No more delay.
John Candy and Uncle Buck.
I was going. I knew the fat guy. I just not.
Yeah. So this lady has a big old mole on her. I think it's on the side of her chin.
I've seen Uncle Buck 3 times. Yes.
Oh, anyway,
That's another movie that comes up. He stumped him again.
Yes, that's all right. You had
And all around, thank you. Go check out redwheelspanda.com. Go find us on TikTok. Mr. Panda's been posting a heck of a lot on all the platforms. We want your questions, we want your posts, and more importantly, we want your love. Mr. Panda, what a great podcast. Thank you
yeah,
very much.
great episode. Catch you
See you,
next
man.
time, man. See ya.